Well, it's been a while since I recorded a movie. Well, I did probably, what, like 3 or 4 today, but you know, there's nothing else to do, so I'm walking around the truck stop, and because I don't have my bike yet, I cannot even go for a walk, because this big urban truck stop in St-Liboire, that's the way they pronounce it in French, Liboire, and it's spelled L-I-B-O-I-R-E, Liboire, and the actual village is 5 kilometers or 3 miles that way, and there's a highway, and the speed limit is 80 kilometers an hour, 50 miles an hour, and of course people are zooming by, and the shoulder is like this big. You know, I went over there this morning. I thought I would go maybe just 1 or 2 kilometers that way and then come back, maybe like walk for half an hour, and I look at the road and the cars, forget it. So then I turn around and there's a farm this way, and I saw there's a dirt road, like very old dirt road, you know, half of it covered in grass, so you can see that people don't really use it. So, and I started walking because I thought I saw there was like a forest somewhere there. I thought, hey, it's like a kilometer and a half one way, and that would be like 20 minutes, perfect. And I start walking, all of a sudden I see a sign, and one sign is turned towards there's like a cellular tower, and it's all fenced in, and there's a sign, and it says something like the first word, because this is French, right, Quebec, the first word looks like defense, the word defense, you know, like defense against terrorists, and the second word looks like passeur, like passers, like passerbys, right? And right away, you know, I add 2 and 2, and that sign is next to the fenced cellular tower, so we understand defense, passeur, basically no trespassing. That's what I figured out. And okay, I'm not going there, so I keep walking. I thought I'm taking a walk towards the forest. And then I look, there's like 2 posts on both sides of the dirt road, but there's no chain, but in front of one of the posts is the same sign, and it's facing me. As I walk, it says the same, defense passeur. Well, forget it. What else am I supposed to do? Walk around the truck stop? So I just walked. Probably walked like 10 minutes. I reached that forest, came back, because, you know, I thought if someone stops me, I'll say, hey, я только говорю по-русски. Русский только. Russian only. You know? No, but seriously, they should put something in English. Actually, there's a law here about the signs, and it's really weird, but basically they require that the French letters must be a certain percentage bigger than English letters. So they can decide to, let's say you go to a restaurant and you ask for a menu, and they will say you want English menu, French menu. So if they English, there will be a French name of the dish, and then there will be English, and English is always smaller, because that's the law here. They cannot even be the same size. Can you believe this? This is still Canada. English is still the official language, but French is also like 2 official languages, so these guys here, they do what they want. Oh, and this morning I was sitting at the driver's lounge, and I see the network. Like, the network is there, free network, and they have signs everywhere. Yeah, free Wi-Fi. And I tried to connect, tried like many times before, you know, yesterday, the day before yesterday, never works. Basically, my computer says invalid, something with a server, you know, something with a server, cannot connect. And there's a girl, a cute girl comes in, and I saw her park her car. So she comes in a car, and then she goes into this room, and it says driver's lounge, commercial driver's lounge. She just sits right there, and I see she's about to start doing her homework, and she's maybe like 25 years old. and I say, excuse me, you have internet? Can you connect to the internet? And she turns to me and she starts speaking French, and she says, no English, no English. And that was quite surprising, because recently I find that lots of people here in Quebec do speak English. Like before, I remember like 5-6 years ago, it was very difficult to find an English speaking person, but nowadays pretty much everybody, except like if you see an older guy, you know, like or older lady, maybe like, you know, 60s or whatever, they will just speak French. So I was really surprised to see a young girl and she does not speak English. Like, don't you listen to music? You know, most of the music is in English. Movies are, lots of movies, good movies are in English, you know. I just think that people limit themselves, you know, this bad, especially since we're right next to the US, you know. I don't know. Anyway, so I had some fun with these movies. I learned a lot about my camera, because before mostly I used it to take pictures, and this time I tried to shoot movies with this DSLR camera, and it was not easy, you know. Like when you have a regular camera just like this that I'm using right now, the Flip HD, you don't have to worry about exposure, you know, focusing, nothing. Right? Shutter speed, aperture, there's nothing in there. Like that camera has two buttons. One is on and off, and the other one is record, and you push the button again to stop recording. That's it. That's why it's my favorite camera. But of course, you cannot look too cool with that one, because that one looks like a pack of cigarettes. So if you want to look cool, you need something like this. But then shooting movies takes a long time, you know. And I learned, I was reading, I got a very cool book, like a photographer wrote about this. See, it's called Nikon D5200, from snapshots to great shots. And it was written by a photographer. Real handy booklet. And that's why I was so interested in those trains, because it's a difficult object to video, you know, to film when you have a camera like this. It presents lots of challenges, and I learned a couple of lessons, so I want to share with you guys and gals, in case someone else wants to shoot a train passing at high speed. First of all, one thing I learned is that it's a bad it's a bad idea to stand on the tracks. Doesn't work very well for filming, especially when the sun is behind you, you know. So the engineer cannot see you, so your movie will be very short. But second thing is, a serious thing is, do not use autofocus with this camera. If anybody uses a DSLR, I tried to use, they have this fancy thing, it's called tracking, autofocus tracking, and that means the camera tries to track the moving subject. But the thing is, I was holding the camera pointing at one particular spot, and I wanted that spot to be in focus, right? Now this baby starts moving focus because the train is moving like at a 45-degree angle. It tries to focus on one car, then another, and so the focus keeps jumping from one car to another. And then there was a big, what was it, some kind of a post in there. So it tries to focus on that post, while the actual spot that I want in focus is not in focus. So, and that's what that guy in that booklet says. He says, don't use autofocus. In theory they work great, but it does work great for pictures, when you take pictures, but when you take a movie, so basically this guy says just pre-focus using a regular like picture mode. When you take a picture, pre-focus on the spot, let's say when I know that this train is gonna be, and then switch this button here, like this switch from manual, one position is manual auto and the other position is manual, and when it's in manual auto, you just switch, you focus by pushing the shutter release button right halfway, and then when the camera focuses, you just flip this to manual, and that's it, and it stays focused on that particular spot and then you know that the focus is not going to jump all over the place. And third thing I learned about shooting movies with this camera is that you're supposed to keep your shutter speed approximately two times your frame rate. So let's say if I am shooting in 1080 24p, the shutter speed should be approximately 1/50th of a second. And on my camera I don't have that. I have 145, and then I have 160. So because of that, I switched to 30 frames per second. So next time you see a movie I make with this camera is going to be 1080p, 30 frames per second, because this way I can choose 1/60th of a second shutter speed, and that's supposed to give like the best result. Anyway, enough of movie making. You guys are probably already falling asleep. So tomorrow is Friday, so finally it's back to work time, and I'm picking up some lathe, L-A-T-H-E, lathe machine, factory machine made somewhere here, not too far from Montreal, and I'll be going to South Dakota, actually close to the area where they had this tornado a few days ago, and some people died. And I look on the map, and actually the place where I'm going is not too far from that area, so I hope that tornado is not gonna come back and, you know, grab my lathe from the trailer. So no news on the truck, still gonna be ready in September. No news on the trailer, still gonna be ready end of July. And I'm gonna go pick it up in my truck. And no news on the step deck trip. Now I have ads running in Market Book, which is the Canadian version of truck paper. I have it on Kijiji, I have it on Auto Trader, and now I place another ad on Truck and Trailer magazine, into Truck and Trailer magazine, and it's also going to be online. So hopefully someone will call me, and I will get rid of this step deck. Now this morning, another thing happened worth mentioning. I was sitting at Tim Hortons, you know, minding my own business, playing with the computer, because in Tim Hortons inside the truck stop they do have their own internet, which is free, but there's no electric plug, so so I can use the internet over there. Then once my laptop runs out of juice, I had to go to the driver's lounge inside the truck stop and charge my laptop, and then go back to Tim Hortons. So I cannot tell you how many cups of coffee and tea I drank during this past 4 days, because I just lost count. But anyways, I'm sitting there, my laptop is fully charged, and some guy comes over and he says hi. And well, you know, I look at his shirt and it says FedEx, and my first thought was something about my bike. But wait a second, my bike is going to Michigan. What is this guy doing here? And then he says, are you SERGEI? I say, yeah. He says, can I talk to you for a second? Okay, so of course right away I know that this guy is watching my movies. So it turns out he's a FedEx driver, and he drives in this area pretty much, and he lives near Montreal, and he just drives in his car back, you know, he was driving in his car back home from work, and each day he goes, I think he said 85 kilometers from home to work, and then 85 kilometers from, you know, from his workplace back to his home. And he saw my videos showing that I was in this St-Liboire, and he decided to stop by and check if I'm still here. So we had a nice chat, and he was asking me questions about, you know, like long haul, because he wants to switch to long haul, about Landstar. So I showed him some, I gave him some tips, showed him some loads that Landstar had on the board. So nice guy. So that's this is a YouTube channel. Sometimes I meet people, but you know, he spoke English, like fluent English, just like me, even though he's French. But I mean, sometimes you meet people all over the place, which is great. So that's why I think I've been trying to help my friend who pulls a tanker just get a YouTube channel up and running, because it's a good hobby, helps you stay sane on the road, and you meet many new interesting people. So that was just a not so short update from St-Liboire, Quebec, Canada. I'm SERGEI DRATCHEV. Thanks for watching.